Iowa's in the history books, but the next primary votes are just days away. I'm John Phillips, and this is Pole Position, New Hampshire. As we all know by now, Hillary Clinton and Ted Cruz won in Iowa, but all the latest polls show a very different race in the Granite State. Let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers. On the Democratic side, a Boston Herald Franklin Pierce University poll shows Bernie Sanders way ahead of Hillary, 57% to 37%. A CNN WMUR poll gets very similar numbers, showing Sanders with 57% and Clinton slipping a little bit to 34%. And the most recent major poll by the University of Massachusetts and 7 News shows Bernie crushing Hillary, 61% to 30%. On the Republican side, the Boston Herald Franklin Pierce University poll shows Trump well ahead with 38%. Ted Cruz is a distant second with 13%. Marco Rubio and Jeb Bush are tied for 4th place with 10% each. Ohio Governor John Kasich comes in 5th with 8%. Chris Christie, Carly Fiorina, Rand Paul all get 5%. Rand Paul, of course, has dropped out of the race since this poll was taken. Ben Carson gets 3%, and Rick Santorum, who's also done, gets Zipola. The CNN WMUR poll also shows Trump in the lead with a narrower margin. He gets 30% in that survey. Cruz gets 12%. Rubio is close behind him with 11%. Kasich comes in 4th with 9%. Christie gets 8%. Bush gets 6%. Fiorina gets 4%. Ben Carson and Rand Paul get 3%. And Santorum gets nada. Finally, the University of Massachusetts 7 News poll shows Trump back on top with 38%. Cruz comes in a reliable second with 12%. Kasich is up to 3rd place with 9%. Bush comes in 4th, also getting 9%. Rubio is in 5th place with 8%. Christie is next with 7%. Carson and Paul each get 3%. Fiorina gets 2%, and Santorum actually gets a whole number, 1%. Now, here's what's interesting. In Iowa, the polling was all wrong on the Republican side. The Democrats, they had it right because they showed a very tight race between Hillary and Bernie. Of course, it essentially ended up as a tie. But on the Republican side, they had Donald Trump coming in 1st, they had Cruz coming 2nd, and then they had Marco Rubio running a distant 3rd. As we now know, Ted Cruz ended up finishing 1st with Trump in 2nd, and Marco Rubio running a very strong 3rd. Why were those polls so wrong? Was it because of the nature of the Iowa caucus? Was there a problem in their methodology? If so, is that going to translate to the New Hampshire numbers? Or are these numbers going to be reliable? Time will tell. Only one thing we know for sure. We'll all be watching. That's the position of the polls, but now it's time to make your opinion known. Who's going to take New Hampshire and who drops out next? Tell us your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm John Phillips for Pole Position. Thanks so much for watching.